very difficult as an artist in the Bronx. I'm so far away from the art community. I find that people don't like to come all the way up here. Most of my collectors, oh, Diane, it's just so far. You need to move to Brooklyn. But I understand that the southern part of the Bronx is becoming more up and mobile in, as far as arts. And it might be interesting to live down there. Oh, moving to New York City, boy, was that a change. Oh, boy. Schools were the biggest challenge for me, coming to a very large school environment from what I was used to, which was a one-story, a typical little red schoolhouse is where I came from. And coming here to these mega schools, that was challenging. Can honestly say, I don't think I've really been influenced by anyone. There are certain artists that I like and I find their work very interesting. For instance, Gorky. I love Gorky's work. I love de Kooning's work. And I love their work is because they just seem to have this sense. They know how to put those colors and those shapes together. It's not just about one. It's about integrating them all, the colors, the shapes, the space. All that stuff is really important. And while their work looks very free, I know it's a lot of time and a lot of thought went into putting that work together. It's not as simple as it looks. And people look at abstract work. Oh, this is so easy, anyone can do it, but you can't. It's not that easy. And my figurative work, I enjoy Romar Bearden very much. He tells a story. I look at his paintings and it's like reading a painting. I like the way he uses his non-traditional portraits with his abstract work and the colors. They just vibrate off the page. I also enjoy Horace Pippin. He also tells a story. His work is very raw and he's just so natural. And I feel them. I look at their work and I really feel them. And there's one other person I really admire, and Van Gogh. And I really didn't feel that way about Van Gogh until I read his letters to Theo. That Van Gogh has just touched a part in my heart. He was so humble. And I think about myself and the struggles that I go through as an artist, and I look at Van Gogh, and I'm like, kid, you don't know how good you have it. Right now, I'm primarily abstract. I started out doing figurative work. After my portraits, I started doing just very loose figurative works, and I think I was always going in the abstract direction. It just took me a little while to get there. I love mixed media. So I may start out with an acrylic, using various colors and various shapes, and I may add a little pastel. I may crunch up the pastel and leave chunks and adhere that to the canvas and go over it again with maybe a thinned out acrylic. And after that dries, after 3 or 4 days, I'll go over it again with maybe oil and add some glitter or some sand. And I want to make it pop a little more. And I never close up my paints. A layer of acrylic and sand and glitter, and then I overlay it again with pastels and watered down acrylics. Let's see here. And when I paint, I just use whatever I have at hand to clean up a little bit, get the puddles of paint. I find this to be the most relaxing thing that I could possibly do is to paint. I get lost. Everything's just natural. I haven't really studied. I've taken an anatomy class at the Art Students League, but I just feel it. It just feels right. Just like shapes, the shapes and the colors, they just feel right. And it's just hard to explain where it comes from. It just comes. Sometimes I think I'm in touch with the to these other artists that are no longer with us. I think I have to feel them. I feel their spirit. And sometimes when I'm struggling with a painting, I sometimes just stop and I just try to just tap into them, and it works.